So I've been asked this question for about a week and a half, and because I know a lot of people who do college athletics, college sports, a lot of athletes who play for their schools, and I always ask, do I think that college athletes should be paid? And I think yeah, college athletes should be paid. They had a good special on HBO Real Sports a couple months back about the money that these college athletes are bringing into these institutions. And if you hear the numbers that these kids are bringing in, and you see that they don't see a dime, nickel, or penny of it, it would really shock you. Uh, you got these institutions like Florida, like Texas, like Florida State, like Alabama, like Auburn, USC, Arizona, North Carolina, Duke, UCLA, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Syracuse, on and on, about how these they make millions and millions of dollars, and they basically make it off two sports, which is football and basketball. And you gotta, and even though these kids get a free education and they get a scholarship check every month, which is around, which I don't know the exact amount, but they get a scholarship check every month, and people seem to say that's not enough for these kids. And you, it's hard for me to say like it's not enough for these kids when these kids bust their hump 7 days out the week to make sure that their school situation is right, as alongside as their sports situation is. Because you got these kids who are looked upon at their families, 60-70% of them, as they can get us out the living situation that we're in. They can get us out the out the poor environment that we was in. And and a lot of those kids have a lot of pressure. So these kids aren't really coming into school thinking, "Oh, education. Oh, let me go to this class. Oh, let me go to this class." No, they're thinking about, "Oh, what's that 40 time I got to run? Oh, I got to get these shots up at the gym after practice, before practice, to get myself better, to reach my dream and goal, and to help my family out." And you got all these other kids who I've also talked to, people who go to school on full education based on that academics. They don't play no athletics or nothing, and they say, well, these kids can get jobs. And it's different because these kids can't get jobs. Because if you looked at the Auburn piece, they had a piece on Auburn and about a couple kids who were paid, who were actually, they got received money for selling their things or playing great in a game. And he said when he got there, not saying all coaches do this, but when he got there, he said when it comes to this school and it comes to this team, football is number 2 and education is number 1. And a lot of coaches do think like that, because even though these coaches preach academics, they just want to make sure you're eligible to play that season, or eligible to play that game. And if you think these kids can go get jobs over the summer, especially football and basketball, when you have kids coming in, new fresh faces, fresh talent coming in, you got to worry about your spot being taken, or you got to worry, or you coming off a bad year and you want to get better, and you're trying to get yourself better. There's no time for that, especially also that you're in summer school. So there's no time for me, like a regular kid, there's no time for another kid to go get a job, especially who plays sports, who has to worry about summer school, they worry about summer workouts, and then go worry about a job. But he could probably get 2 hours. There's only 24 hours out the day. You're in school, depending on how many credits you take, you're in school for that amount of time. And but these regular kids are talking about, well, I do it, so why can't they do it? When these regular kids can just go to school until about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then work for the rest of the day. Work from 3 to 10. Work from 4 to 9 or something like that, and work 6-7 days out the week. And that's the money you have. And it's really something about how it's kind of, oh, Elton, you're taking a double standard. I'm not taking a double. It's not a double standard, because these kids have to work twice as hard as other kids. the athletes have to work twice as hard as other kids, and they're getting their jerseys sold in the stool stores. They don't see money off of that, but they get in trouble if they take $20 here from somebody, or if they get a free meal at the school restaurant, at a nearby restaurant by the stadium, because they play for the football team, and they get in trouble for that. So I'm saying, like, you can give these kids $200 every 2 weeks. But then also there's the other problem where, oh, if you pay the football players money, this $200 every 2 weeks, you're gonna have to pay the gymnast or the gymnastics team or the track and field team that same amount of money. And I'd say, no, you don't have to. Not saying that gymnastics or track and field or softball is different. It's not different. It's still athletics. You still have the same grind. You still have the same workload. You still have to do the same things. But the football and the basketball team, the money they generate from revenue off of these TV contracts, these $25 million, these $30 million that they get just for one sport, is paying for that gym coach's salary, that gymnastic coach's salary, for the baseball team to have their program still running, to helping out with, to pay some of these scholarships. This money is coming from football and basketball, and it's helping the university out. And you don't have to. And I'm sorry, no disrespect to anybody else that plays a sport other than football or basketball, but you have to know at the end of the day that your sport doesn't generate the attraction, the attention that the two other main sports in this country generates. It's two different animals. It's basically it's Donald Trump to a millionaire. That's what it basically is. And you have it comes to a point where you have to understand where the money's coming from. And so I basically just generally feel that these college athletes should get paid. And a month or so ago, the Big Ten actually sat down. The Big Ten commissioner, Jim Delaney, actually sat down with a couple presidents, and they actually thought about a stipend for the Big Ten players, because it's getting to a point where kids are just gonna start taking money from these agents and taking money from here, just like the Reggie Bush scandal and the Terrell Pryor situation. How they're just gonna end up taking money, and it's gonna end up not affecting the team this year. It's gonna end up affecting the kids 4 or 5 years from now, who are in high school, freshmen right now. It's gonna affect them. They can't go to bowl games. They can't go here. They can't go there. Oh, they lost scholarships. Now the coach is gonna lose his job. So that's what I'm saying. If you start paying these kids, not saying it's gonna kill the situation completely, but it's definitely going to help the situation. Because to me, you can't use that free education argument no more. Because say what you want, these kids aren't going to school. They're not going taking scholarships just for the education. The education is in the back of their mind. In the front of their path is the NFL, is the NBA, is starting. That's what's in front of them. Can I be the Heisman Trophy winner? Can I be All-American? Not, do I have this test on Thursday that I have to worry about? Because in basketball, it's worse. It's actually worse in basketball than football, because in basketball, it's all I gotta do is go for school one semester. All I gotta do is go for one semester, get that 2.0. Then I'm playing basketball, and I could sleep in all day, all night until practice, and then play the game. And then when the season's over, I'm off to the league. At least in football, you have to go through a whole 3 years. But I'm gonna just leave it on that note. I believe that these college athletes should be paid. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for the feedback you guys been giving me. I really appreciate it. I'm definitely coming with more videos. So thanks, guys, and see you later.